Hello everybody and welcome to your favorite tutorial on how to make great thumbnails. This is going to be a tutorial to teach you the basic strategy of making cool, professional looking thumbnails with very simple tricks and free software so that you might be able to turn this into this. So for this, you're gonna need Paint.net. It is a free program, a plugin pack, but everything here is very easy. I'll take you through it step by step. And if you don't want to watch, you already have Paint, you already have the plugins pack or whatever. I'll leave an annotation there so you can go on to the rest of the video. But first, let's start with Paint.net. For Paint, you actually want to go to getpaint.net/download. You want to go to this website. I'll leave a link in the description. So download it now and download here. It is just an executable installer here. Okay, you can download it, and if you open up the zip file, Paint.net right there, it is an executable. It'll install itself. All well and good. Afterwards, you'll want to go get a plugin pack, which is it'll give you a few more options concerning Paint.net, and you really need this. So you want to go to this link right here. I'll leave it in the description. And you want to download the DPY plugins 8.1.zip, and it'll give you the plugins there. I've already downloaded it, so all you have to do is open this folder right here, the one you downloaded, and all the plugins will be here. Now, to install the plugins, it is very easy. Just drag and drop. Go to your Paint.net file location, and you're gonna have the effects folder right here. You can see this is where all the plugins are. All you have to do is drag and drop there. I'm not gonna do it because I already have them, but just drag and drop and you're done. You have the plugins. Perfect. Now, moving on to the thumbnail itself. What makes a great thumbnail? There are a number of factors, and I'm not gonna pretend that I'm a complete expert on thumbnails, but I do know one thing. You want a background image or a main image if you want. And this is the key. This is one of the most fundamental things. You want to give it a second image more transparent, that has something to do with the first image, with your theme, whether it be the theme of your video, the theme of your, I don't know, article, whatever. You want to give it that theme, and you want it to be an abstract image. So let's just grab an example here. I'm gonna grab my example, which is a thumbnail for a Let's Play that I'm doing of a game called Space Engineers. So let's start with that, shall we? How do you search for images? This is important if you want to distribute them. Let's say I want images of circuit boards. I'll go to Google, Google circuits, choose images, and you get this. But now, after you've seen the image that you like, let's say this one here, you want to select View More here. Let's just get rid of that tab. View More. And when you select View More, you have these extra options right here. You want to go to Usage Rights, and you want to select Labeled for Reuse. So now you have the permission to use this or reuse this texture, this image, however you like. So you can save an image, just copy it, save image as, and you have your image. In my case, I've already downloaded and selected my image. I want this image right here. This image. This is the image I want. The thumbnail itself, I want it to be 1920 by 1080. Okay. And we have a blank canvas here. Let's just move that around. Okay. Now, let's make a new layer and delete that background there, so now we have nothing here. And what we want to do is grab our first image, Control A. You can select your canvas here, whichever size you want. So this is why we have two separate things. You want to select all of this, Control C to copy, and select your blank canvas and Control V. You want to keep the canvas size because that is the size you want. Lots of websites have size parameters that you need to look after, and there you go. All you had to do was Control V to paste the original image and drag this little bit here to deform the image however you want. So now it is occupying the whole canvas. Well and good. Let's actually just make it a little more. There you go. There you go. That's how I like it. Okay. Perfect. Now we have our background image. What do you want to do now about that transparent image? And we'll get to more items in a second. Second transparent image. In this case, I want to have a sci-fi theme, so I went ahead and Googled all of that, and I came across a few images that I liked, especially this one right here. So here we have a cool little image that I want to add and make it less visible, just fill up the frame a bit. So what I'm gonna do is Control A to select all, Control C to copy, and go to what will be my thumbnail, add a new layer. Always add a new layer whenever you're doing whatever you want, and Control V to paste. Of course, it's not the proper size, but we can just drag it like that. Be careful with very low resolution images when you're trying to do this, because it might really look very fuzzy. But okay, now we have this on a new layer. What we want to do is double click on that layer there and reduce the opacity. Let's call it, I already know that 45 is the value I want. You can, lots of people prefer around 70-ish. 70-ish opacity. For this case, I want to go with 45 here. And now you can see, okay, you can see that there's already this has already transformed. This is a very useful technique that I'm using a lot now. Now, what we want to do is with text. We want to work with text. And text, there are a couple of things that we can use, very simple things that really make, instead of that plain text, that plain color or gradient text, you can actually texture the text with these plugins that we added. So let's open a new document. That's okay, we don't really need any more. And make a new layer and delete the background there. So now we have a blank canvas. Now, you want an interesting font. For this, I recommend you go to dafont.com, link is in the description, and you can select a whole plethora of fonts that you have. Now, remember, if you want to reuse this, if you want to distribute this, make sure, in our case we want sci-fi, for instance, make sure you select only what is public domain here and click submit. So now you have all the fonts that are public domain and that we can use without problems. We can use this whichever way we want. So all you have to do is download them. After you've downloaded them, you can go to, let me see if I already have it open. I do not. You can go to, or you'll have to go to your C drive, Windows folder, and Fonts folder, and it is as easy as, let's call it, let's say that we want this one. This font. You want the TTF. Some fonts have more files. You want the TTF, and you just drag and drop into the fonts folder, and now you have that font. You may have to restart Paint.net in order for it to refresh and actually display the font when you click on the text here and you look for the font right here. In my case, I'm going with this font here for demonstrational purposes. And let's use our blank canvas here, and I want to write space Engineers. Okay, that is huge. Let's go with a 72 just so we can see the whole text here. Let's go even smaller because this is a vector image, so you can afterwards you can do whatever you want with it. There are a number of things we can do. First, I am going to show you how to apply actually an effect that is extremely simple to do with an alpha mask. So how do we use this alpha mask to actually texture our text? In my case, I want something really sci-fi, really out there. So I went ahead and looked for something that could actually make this text more interesting. And I found it. So let's open it. And I liked this thing. This is like a Matrix E circuit board thing. I really liked it. So I want to use it to texture my text. Select the whole thing with Control A, Control C to copy. Go to your text document, add a layer. You can pull it down for this purpose. Add a layer, and with the bottom layer, just Control V your image into there. So now all you have to do is drag it so that it covers up the back of the text. You can repeat this how many times you want. You can also stretch it, but I don't recommend it, at least in a case such as this, because you see how it becomes really fuzzy. And if you want to make the text really big, it'll actually show and look a little strange. So it's better. In my case, the text won't be very large, so I don't have to do a perfect job. But there you go. This is everything you need to do to texture your text. Now, all you have to do is actually select the layer with your text. You can see that it's the text here. Control A to select all, Control C to copy, and deselect the layer visibility. Now all you did was copy that text, but for the purpose of the alpha mask, that is all you need to do. Now all you have to do is go to effects and apply the alpha mask, and you can see there's our text. If we make it visible there, we're still in the alpha mask part. You can invert this. If you messed around with the layers there, you can select invert mask. In this case, we want this one, and select OK. If we have that visible, we still have the black text, but we don't want it. We want it invisible, and we don't actually need that layer anymore. So now we have a Space Engineers thing there. All we have to do is pick up our text, Control C to copy, and plop it down on a new layer on our thumbnail. And there we have it, Space Engineers. Now with this, you can do whatever you want, really. See how since I made the text really small in this thing, I should have made it bigger. Now that I've expanded it, the circuit texture there is already kind of fuzzy. Of course, nobody will. This won't be noticeable, really. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. This won't be noticeable, really. Since YouTube thumbnails are so small, but it is something to keep in mind. Now, all you have to do is rinse and repeat this. Let's say we want to add, I don't know, let's say we want to write down, this game is awesome. This game is awesome. And let's texture it with another texture that I pulled out, which was this one. Okay, Control A to select all, Control C to copy, and new layer, go down, Control V, and all you have to do is repeat the process until the whole thing is covered up. Remember, select the text layer, Control A to select all, Control C to copy, and deselect that. And now apply alpha mask. And there you go. This game is awesome. So now Control C to copy, and we already have a new layer, so Control V to paste, and this game is awesome. Just turns up really nicely there. Let's make it a little bit bigger there. See how much difference this does. It's really something. Now you have the full idea of how to make thumbnails interesting. Of course, usually for the background image, if you want to make let's play videos or photography presentations, you're gonna want your own photograph or picture back there. But the same principle applies. Get a second image with less visibility. Turn down its opacity, that is related to your theme, and abstract, the most abstract you can get, and pull the layer opacity down, and you'll get the thing up and running in no time. Add some text if you want to. Remember, just make your text look interesting, because if it's not, and usually the font should be readable, but it should also be interesting. So try to balance these things out. If you have any questions, do leave a comment. I'll be happy to answer them, and I hope you have a great day.